Hi everybody, it's Dr. Jamnadas again with Aristotle Education LLC here today to talk to you about your lunch. So folks, this is a follow-up from the previous one that we talked about your breakfast and what we should be feeding our children and what you all should be having for breakfast. Today we're going to talk about lunch. Now lunch is a very important subject because it's important for our children. We can't make them fast. We have to have lunch. And most adults also like to have lunch. And by the way, lunch is probably one of the most important meals you can have because as you all know, it is during the midday that our body has the highest capacity to digest food. So our digestion capacity is better at lunch than dinner. So let's pay attention to what we're putting into our bodies at lunchtime. So it brings me to this question: why should you eat? Why do we eat? Well, we want calories. Of course we want calories. Sure we do. But that's all we've been concentrating on, and that's the wrong concentration. We should be also looking at not just the macro ingredients of how many calories they are. Look, that's what got us into trouble. We only looked at calories. Food is not just an energy source of only calories. It's supposed to give you macronutrients, which is proteins, the good fats, and also give you micronutrients. The micronutrients. Why are micronutrients so important? Because that's how nature works. That's how we get all our foods. That's how every animal also flourishes, and the physiology is based on the micronutrients. The micronutrients means all the minerals, the trace elements that are inside there. And then all those complex chemicals that nature makes, like the phytonutrients that are inside all the vegetables and the different colors in the fruits and vegetables. So we need all those chemicals inside us. We are made from nature, pieces of nature coming into us. We are not just made from calories. So this concentration that we've had on just calories and only looking at the macro ingredients of how many calories are in this food, how many grams of protein are in it, is really misled us. And what we want to do today is to educate everybody about what it really takes to call this real food. This is real food, not just calories. So I'm going to dive right into it. So let's talk about lunch today. And I have some things out here, and I'm going to start first with the drinks. So the drinks are very important because all meals go down with drinks. And water is the best drink in the world. But instead, we give our kids and ourselves a lot of unnecessary empty calories. Let's take this drink here. This is some sort of a power drink that's supposed to be taken after exercising or after you go out for a long jog or a bicycle ride, or even school kids or playing out in the field. And when I look at it, it's got 80 calories in there, 80 calories. Water has none. It's a solvent. And that's what we need, because all chemical reactions do not occur in calories. They occur in water. You need water. That's all the body is asking for. It's looking for clean water. This is 80 calories. And what's the calories composed of? 22 grams of carbohydrates in here. 22 grams of carbohydrates in each serving. This thing contains 2.5 servings. So let's take about a third of this, put it in a glass. It'll have 22 grams of carbohydrates. That means that's about 5.5 teaspoons of sugar. Now, would you, in your right mind, take 5.5 grams of sugar and put it in a glass of water, shake it up and say, okay, Tommy, come on, let's have a drink? I mean, that just makes no sense. So next time when you see this number here, when you see carbs 22 grams or carbs 28 grams, I want you to divide that by 4. And that's the number of teaspoons of sugar in there. Now, would you in your right mind consume this? Absolutely not. This is empty calories. It's just full of sugar. But in addition, it's got coloring in it, and it's got some other preservatives in it. You don't need this. There's no need for these empty calories. They're coming with nothing. This is old school calories. The calories in, calories out has been debunked 25 years ago. But you know what? Everything new that we learn takes at least 20 years before it filters into the education of the general people. It's time for us to take this back. It's time for us to get rid of that old psychology about calories in, calories out. No, everything's to do with metabolism. not calories. It's metabolism, altering your metabolism. You get all the sugar inside you, you're going to get a huge spike of insulin because insulin has to bring the sugar level down. When your insulin level goes so high, it's unnatural. It's unnatural to take 5 teaspoons of sugar. That extremely high insulin level will take a long time to come down. It will usually take about 3 hours for the insulin level to come down, maybe 4 hours. In the meantime, the sugar level has already dropped by 2.5 to 3 hours. But that insulin remains high, so you get what is known as reactive hypoglycemia. So what does that mean? That means that the sugar level drops below normal levels. Now, the consumer of this, 3 hours later, is extremely hungry because the sugar levels are low. In fact, they're going to feel low, they can get shaky, they can get jittery, they can actually get irritable. And then guess what? They have to have some more to bring that sugar level back up again. And this yo-yoing of the sugar level is extremely detrimental. When that insulin level stays high all the time, you're going to develop insulin resistance. Children today, why do they have a fatty liver? It's because their insulin levels are high. Why is their insulin level high? Because they're consuming simple calories such as this, too much sugar in their diet, too much fructose in their diet, and now they develop this fatty liver. You want to get rid of a fatty liver? Cut out all the sugar. Cut out all the simple carbohydrates. Automatically, the insulin levels will come down. You see, insulin's job is to get rid of the glucose from the bloodstream because sugar is detrimental in the bloodstream, believe it or not. It's used for all the reactions in the body, but sugar must not remain in the bloodstream because it glycates all the molecules. Glycation is no good. It's part of what I call advanced glycation end products, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. So insulin will rise in an effort to get rid of that sugar and put it away into the tissues. And where does it put it away? Puts it into your liver. Now, your liver is your seat of your metabolism. Why are we poisoning our liver? So the effects of fatty liver are just like alcohol. This is very similar to alcohol. As far as the liver is concerned and its metabolism is concerned, there's very little difference between a sugary drink and alcohol. Take that home. Listen, alcohol and sugar, carbohydrates, will cause fatty liver. And when you look at the biopsy, they look identical. Now that should change your mind about sugar completely. I hope so. And the storage of the fat is not only in the liver, it's in the viscera as well, and in the whole body as well. And of course, it promotes obesity and all the diseases related to obesity. These children will become diabetics in the future. These children, by the time they are 35, 40 years old, will develop diabetes. And it starts with something as simple as a sugary drink. This has to be discouraged right now, today. It needs to be discouraged today. I have another drink. Now this one is a very popular one for lunch as well. And the number of calories in this one is 28 grams. So that's 7 teaspoons. 7 teaspoons of sugar. Folks, I don't think any of you would do it. So give me a cup of coffee and put 7 teaspoons of sugar in it. I don't think any of you would do it. Then why are we doing it? Because it's hiding. It's hiding inside here and we don't see it. So we need to start reading these labels. These labels are here because they're a warning. They're a warning. They're a warning for you. If it has a label on it, it's a warning. If there's a barcode on it, it's a warning. So if it's a warning, you better heed it. So you read it, and become educated. These are the things that are destroying our metabolism. So what did I say? Why do you eat? Why do you drink? Because you want nutrition. Did this give me any nutrition? No. It gave me empty calories. Did it affect my metabolism badly? Yes, it destroyed my metabolism. Wait a second. Food is supposed to improve your metabolism, not worsen my metabolism, right? So my metabolism is being worsened by this. No wonder I'm getting the fluctuations in my sugar all morning, all day long, and I can't function properly. As an adult or as a child, children are more sensitive to these fluctuations in their blood sugars than adults are because their brains are still developing. when they get that type of fluctuation in their blood sugar, the phenotype immediately is there. Those children will have behavioral disorders, memory disorders. They will have difficulty following simple commands, recall. It's so pervasive. These developing brains need a steady level of sugar, a limited amount of sugar coming in a nice, constant way, not these big fluctuations. So let's move on to some more food, if you can call this food. These are, by the way, let's not lie. These are not foods, these are products. Do you want food or do you want a product? We are consuming products today. Did you know that today, most kids and adults, by the way, are consuming most of the calories from ultra-processed foods? So these are all ultra-processed foods, which give you calories only. They're dead, they're full of chemicals, so again, toxicity, and they don't have any micronutrients in them. They have nothing good for you because it's all been extracted out of it. For example, I've always talked to you about fiber, haven't I? Well, is there any fiber in here? There's none. There's no fiber. Now, by the way, if you took water and you put soluble fiber in it, it dissolves and becomes real clean. At least it's got fiber in it. I would love you, somebody out there, to make a drink for kids. It'll look clear, it'll taste slightly sweet, and it'll have clear soluble fiber. That is going to feed the microbiome of the child. So at least now you're consuming something, maybe not for you, but for your microbiome. And of course, you all know, because I have talked about this over and over again, that your health depends also on your microbiome. So you eating for yourself and your microbiome. So our digestion is partly done by our bacteria in our gut. So whenever I'm looking at food, I'm saying, am I eating this only for me, or am I also eating for my bacteria? What do the bacteria want? They want fiber. Well, all these processed foods have no fiber in them. So let's take one of these. Let's just pick up this one over here, okay? This is some sort of a mini bagel, and how many grams of fiber is in here? 1 gram. 1 gram of fiber in a whole bagel. Who's that going to feed? Folks, a processed foods means that they've processed it. They've taken something out. So if they make it out of wheat, they take out all the fiber. Well, excuse me, that was the best part of it. The fiber was the best part of the grain. See, the problem with grains are that we take out all the fiber. The best part of it is gone. And of course, we take out the germ, so now we've lost all the micronutrients. So guess what? Now we have fortified wheat. We have fortified grains. So we have to put back all the vitamins in it. So we try, but we can't put them all back. We only put back some of them. So your enriched flour is not that rich. They call it enriched flour. It's not. The best part of it is all gone. And they have to take it out, because if you leave the germ in there and if you take the whole grain and make flour out of it, it'll have a limited life on the shelf, because it'll go rancid. All the oils that are in the germ, they go rancid. That's why they don't have a shelf life. That's why they take it all out. Now that flour can stay on the shelf for a year and it doesn't really matter. And that's what this is made of. It's made from that flour. So it's got no fiber in it whatsoever. All right, so they added back a few things to it. And now let's look at its content. Now it's got total calories, where are we? Calories, 190 calories per serving. 190. Almost all of it from carbohydrates. That means if it's got 27 grams of carbs in here, that's all it's got. It's got nothing else. It's got no other real nutrition in here. So you might as well just say, okay, I'll forget this, I'll have 7 teaspoons of sugar. This is empty food. This is dead food. It's got no vibrational frequency. It's got no life in it. It's dead. It's dead. You can leave this out there for 20 days, you come back, it'll still be there. Exactly the same. It's dead food. Here's another one. So these are the chips that we're giving to our kids. And we think that this is heart healthy, and some of them are even labeled as heart healthy. And I think that this is a real shame, Because a heart healthy food, and I'm a cardiologist, and this really gets to me because it's not heart healthy. Some of the foods are health neutral, or at least it's not as bad as the other poison. But because it's not as bad as other poisons, it doesn't mean that it's heart healthy. It does not have any positive effect. It's just less negative. So got to read the labels on this, and they call it whole grain. Look, something can be whole grain, but it's still all totally processed. And it's got other nutrients in here that don't belong in here. And why do they add them in there? They don't add them for your benefit, for your health. They add them so that they can have shelf life. They crunchy, they crunch, and that crunch is amazing. I don't have to tell you that. It's an addictive crunch, that noise. Why do they make that noise? It's designed that way. It's designed to make that crunch, because that crunch goes to your brain, and your brain registered that crunch through vibrational frequencies from the jaws up to your brain, and your brain anticipates more because it really thinks that you're eating some bones, because then maybe you're going to get some bone marrow coming out of there and something really healthy. But that's what this crunchiness is coming from your teleological addiction to eating hard food. That's what it is. They've just hijacked it. So now you become addicted to that taste and the crunchiness. And look at it. It's got only 2 grams of fiber per serving, 140 calories, all empty calories, all 2 grams of protein. 2 grams of protein. Oh, I want Tommy to grow up nice and strong and he's going to play football with 2 grams of protein. This is a lie to ourselves that we're giving our children and ourselves nutrition. There's no nutrition here. There's none. There's none. And then look at all the other things it's got in here. Okay, it's got a whole lot of colorings in here and natural flavors. They don't have to disclose what those are. Natural flavors are extracts. They are all chemicals. But because you source them from a natural place, they call it natural. That doesn't mean that it's healthy. It's still all processed. Look, lead is natural. Hey, mercury is also natural. But that doesn't mean it's healthy for us. So when you read the word natural, I want you all to have a natural reflex against it. Natural doesn't mean it's naturally good for you, okay? Natural doesn't mean anything. Look, who's going to become the policeman now? You are, because who's in charge of your health? You are. You're going to make these choices now. It's all on you. No one's going to make these choices for you. No one's going to make these choices for you. So this thing has so many, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of ingredients. Folks, if it's got more than 1 line of ingredients, just put it away. Most of you can't even pronounce the names of these chemicals. Even I have a difficult time. I have to read very carefully what those things really are. So I just put it away because I know that it's not good for me. I'm going to show you something else. So here we have a very conveniently packaged lunch. And this cheese is all processed, man-made. There's nothing new about it. This is not natural cheese. So it has nothing in there that is going to be of benefit to you. Now, you know that fermented foods are very good for you, right? I always talk about fermentation. Why? Why? Because you get your postbiotics plus the fermentation product themselves. So you're going to get the benefit of the fermentation product and everything all in one. So cheese, real cheese. This is processed cheese. There's nothing in it. It's just empty food. There's nothing alive in here. When you see that your cheese, whether it's Gouda cheese or any of those other cheeses, they're full of there's life in it. There's live elements in it. That's what you want. This is all dead. This is all dead. And you can leave this cheese out here, by the way, for 2 months, and it will not get moldy. It will never get moldy. Fungus will not grow on this cheese. Yeah? And then here's some salsa. Same thing. There's a whole bunch of preservatives in it, and I'll show you the label in a minute. And then there's this little tortilla-type chips in here. And I just want to look at the label. First of all, it's got a barcode on it. It's got a label. So again, right there, that's a warning signal to you. And the whole thing has 360 calories. That's a lot of calories. But hey, I'm playing football and I need that. Okay, fine. It's got total carbs, 41 grams. Excuse me? 41 grams of carbs. Imagine what's doing to that. What's that doing to your insulin level? I just told you, why are you messing up the metabolism with so much carbs? 41. And fiber, only 3 grams. 3 grams of fiber in that whole preparation. 3 grams. Okay? So this has far too much carbohydrates, added sugars in it, and then it's got a whole bunch of ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines of ingredients. And then look at the oils in them. Now, you all know about vegetable oils. Vegetable oils are omega-6. I've talked about this over and over again. Omega-6. Omega-6 is pro-inflammatory. These oils become part of your cell membranes of every cell in your body. And they add rigidity to your cells. They get into your brain cells. Your brain, more than 50% of your brain is actually all just fat. So where does this all go? Straight to your brain. It clogs up the membranes of your brain cells. And all your receptors are inside that plasma membrane of your cells. So every cell in your body is like a swimming pool. And now you've got all these huge balls floating around inside there, occupying space in the cell membranes. They're rigid and they interfere with the transmission of chemical messages in and out of the cell. Why would you have that? The oils that you really need are the omega-3s, not the omega-6s. And these omega-6s stay in your body for up to 2 years. So you can stop eating all vegetable oils today, they'll be in your body for up to 2 years. Now, my child is still developing right up to the age of around 8, 9. The brain is still developing. There's neuroplasticity going on. I got to start early. You got to get rid of the vegetable seed oils today. Today. Anytime that you see in here vegetable oil, get rid of it. And it's got sunflower oil, safflower oil, canola oil. All those are vegetable oils. You want to get rid of those. And then it's got a sorbic acid, preservatives, natural flavors again, apocarotenoid colorings. Oh my goodness, colorings. The colorings, whether it's red dye 4 or whether it's yellow 5, they are made just make your food look nice and yellow or make it look nice and red. But what's it doing to your microbiome? What's it doing to your neurotransmitters in your brain? All these colorings are artificial. All of them have been linked to ADHD. All of them have been linked to it. Now, who's going to go out and do a big double-blind placebo-controlled study on kids to say, okay, this bunch of kids, we're going to give them lots of colorings, this bunch of kids, I'm not going to. No one's going to do that, guys. Guys, stop looking for that study. It's not going to happen. You got to do it. You got to say that these chemicals are not found in nature. Why am I putting it in Tommy's food? Why? Why? And then we're wondering why these kids are not having the kind of development they have, and why they're having behavioral disorder, or why they're having memory problems. Because I told you earlier on, what do you eat? You don't eat to toxic your body. You don't eat to toxify your body. But we are toxifying our body through food. Excuse me, food was supposed to be to give you some good macronutrients and micronutrients, not toxins. Why are we adding toxins to our body? Oh, we can excrete them all out? Well, excuse me, you're all poor liver. If we have an epidemic going on right now in metabolism, it's liver disease. And it's very pernicious, liver disease is. Because they say, well, he doesn't have cirrhosis. Well, excuse me, cirrhosis is the end stage. But if you really want to know whether you have if you really want to know whether you have liver disease or not, you need to do an ultrasound of your liver, or even better still, an MRI of your liver, which is the most important test, most sensitive test to look for fatty liver. Yeah. So I think that when you see ingredients like this, you're not getting food, you're getting chemicals. So I'm not here to eat chemicals. So all this has to go out. Look at this one here. This is peanut butter. I'm not very fond of peanut butter. This one has roasted peanuts, and then it's got sugar. Now, wait a second. This is roasted peanuts. Why am I adding sugar? You see? Why? Why do they add sugar, by the way? Because it's an antimicrobial and it's a preservative. Take sugar, you add it to anything, it'll preserve it. It preserves it, right? So then it's got hydrogenated vegetable oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil. This is trans fats. Rapeseed, cotton seeds, soybeans. Then, of course, you've got molasses, which is another form of sugar, and then it's got lots of salt in it. Again, this is processed. I would put that away. Too much sugar. This thing here, this is a strawberry preserve. I like strawberries. I put strawberries in my bowl of probiotic kefir. So I take kefir every morning, and I take a bowl and I put my kefir, half a cup or almost 3/4 cup in it, and I'll add 2 strawberries, and I will add 2 or 3 blackberries, and maybe about 5 blueberries, and I'll have that. But those are real. They come with the fiber. They don't come with added sugar. It's the real thing. I'm eating nature, a piece of nature, something that actually come out of the earth, that the whole universe conspired to manufacture. And now I'll take it and make it part of my metabolism. I'm getting macronutrients, micronutrients. I'm getting energy. That's what I want. Now this thing has 12 grams of sugar in it, 12 grams, and it's all added sugar. So most of the real sugar is gone from this. It's all added. Look, it said added sugar, 12 grams. So this thing has so much sugar in here that you're going to get that huge bump down, your metabolism's off. That's it. You've just ruined your metabolism. So you ruin your health because of lack of macronutrients. You ruin it because you don't have micronutrients. And now you ruin it because you just hormonally messed your whole metabolism. Your hormones. Look, when you eat, food sends a signal to your body. It's a metabolic messenger. All these things here are metabolic messengers. Why are we forgetting that? Food is a metabolic messenger. Take that home. Remember that. Food is a metabolic messenger. It changes your metabolism. Everything in food sends a message to your body and changes its metabolism. Why do we forget that? Because we've been taught that it's not that, it's just ingredients. No, it's a messenger. Each one's a messenger. Now this very colorful content here, these are some chicken nuggets and these are potato fries, and they came with these labels, and I just want you to know that this is probably worse than even everything I've said so far over here. So this contains popcorn chicken, and it's cooked in some cornstarch and chicken broth and xanthan gum and gum arabic and guar gum and sodium phosphate, and then starch and leavening, sodium bicarbonate, sodium aluminum phosphate, monocalcium phosphate. You want to hear more? Okay, yeast extract, onion powder, gluten salt, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, blend, and then a thing called TBH. Excuse me, I'm tired. I'm tired of reading this. Okay, at the end over here, it says that it's also got dimethyl polysiloxane. God knows what that is. I'm a cardiologist. I don't know what that is. Can somebody tell me? So if you can't, then why are we eating it? And worse still, why would we feed this to our children? Why? Why? Because it's convenient? So that little Tommy's metabolism is completely altered by eating this. And the brain, how the brain works. Okay, your body physically, okay, I can understand that. Oh yeah, it's going to give me energy. But your brain is no different. Look, there's no such thing as a separate mind and the body. It's mind-body. Those are lectures that I give also, right? It's a mind-body. What affects your body affects your mind. We should know that. What affects the body also affects the mind. You want clarity? You want clarity. You want serenity, equanimity. You want to have good memory, recall, intelligent choices. You want to have ability to inhibit yourself also. So some restraint. All these are mental faculties. You want to develop those, you need good physiology. You need good physiology for that. Don't think that your mental faculties just come out of the air. Your mental faculties are a product of your metabolism. Why are we messing up our metabolism? For what? Why are we doing this? To ourselves or to our loved ones? All this belongs in that trash bag. So let's look at some other foods over here, because now it's getting a little depressing about all that. But no, listen, there's so many wonderful things that we can eat. And the more you start doing this, the better you feel. The better you get more excited about it, because you start feeling better. And I'm not talking about just feeling physically better. Yes, you're going to feel physically, you're also going to mentally feel better, because this is really going to nourish your brain as well, and all the chemicals in your brain. And you are the most amazing machinery ever in the history of this planet. You are the top of the top. So let's stay down there, all the way to the top. So what kind of foods do I like? I like real food. So here, for example, I have some meats. So here we have some, this is turkey, which has been sliced in the deli section. And any nice, good meat is fine. I don't like processed meats. So a nice piece of chicken, fish, turkey, fantastic. This is real food, nutrient-dense food, nothing added, nothing taken out. I like organic things, of course. But if you cannot get organic, it's okay. It's still better than that. So people have said, oh, Dr. J, I can't afford to eat organic foods all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stay away from that. And doesn't have to be organic if you cannot afford it. That's fine. It's still better. So if you can get organic, that's even better. Here's some cheese. Cheese is fantastic. Cheese does have calories in it. If you're obese, you want to hold back on that. And if your child is obese, hold back on the too much calories from cheese. But cheese is fantastic. This is live food. You leave it out here, it's going to go bad. If I leave this out here, it's going to go bad. This is real food. Food that's going to go bad is real food. And it has lots of macronutrients in it. It has good fats in it. The fats, by the way, that come in protein, all proteins come with fat. Take that home. So when people tell you that you need to be on a low-fat diet and this and that, it's not all true. Proteins all come with fat. Show me a protein that doesn't come with fat in it. And the fats that come in protein are fine. They're all fine. I like to make sure that those fats are good fats. How? By making sure that that meat is sourced right. So grass-finished meats will have a higher concentration of omega-3 rather than omega-6. Corn-fed meats will have too much omega-6 in it, okay? But it's still better than all that other food. So try to go for organic. Don't worry about the fat that comes in the meat or in the fish or in the chicken. That's all okay. Then I have some sourdough bread here. And I did put this out. It is processed. But I think that sourdough bread, because it's fermented, it gets rid of a lot of the lectins that regular bread has. And it's a fermented product, so it also has some of the postbiotics in it. That is why I do like sourdough. Sourdough bread generally doesn't give you that glycemic spike that you get with regular bread, because regular bread is about 70 calories. And those 70 calories are basically all glucose. So basically you can have that, and it's like having 7-8 teaspoons of sugar as well. It's terrible. So I like to, when possible, have only one slice of sourdough bread. That's okay, because I can understand that you want to make a sandwich. And we're going to obviously have more videos that Dr. Taylor is going to show you all on how to take these good foods and prepare them into a nice lunch for yourself or your family, your kids. But I just want to go over the macronutrients. The purpose of my talk is to say, okay, what am I giving you? I'm giving you real nutrition. I've got blueberries in here, but you can put blackberries in here. You can put raspberries in here. They're all wonderful. They're all great. So put some strawberries so you can have that. That's all together. And here's a little cup, a convenience cup, and it's got some fruit in it. And it's not in syrup. This is in water. So it's not in syrup. There's no added sugar in here. You can get these with apples. You can get them with peaches. I have no problem with these. I really don't. Obviously, I prefer a real apple. So if the real apple was sitting over here, that would be my choice, right? A real apple. And then I have an avocado here. You can use this for all sorts of things. You can just scrape out of it, eat it yourself, or you can put it on on a toast. And Manisha, of course, she'll show you how to do all those things. But this is a real ingredient. Look, this avocado will go black if I leave it alone. It's got also the nutrients. It's got it's got lots of good fats, you know, the monounsaturated fats. This is what it's going to have. It has a lot of magnesium in it. and it's got protein as well in it. This is excellent, excellent. For hydration, I have this little thing over here, and this is called Elementi. These are electrolytes. I'd rather take one of these, put it in a nice glass of filtered water, and give it to Tommy. Because the bottles over there have other ingredients in it as well, which you don't want. So I already spoke about that. So for people who are concerned about electrolytes, athletes, people who are working outside a lot, sweat a lot, get cramps, and they want some electrolytes. Yes, you need electrolytes. You can actually taste them. Now, you can also just take a pinch of Celtic salt and put it in your regular water and have that once a day. Take a glass of water, put some lemon juice in it, a pinch of Celtic salt, and you're done. This thing about low salt diet, that's another problem I have. The salt is in there. It's added as a preservative. I have no problem with salt unless you have congestive heart failure. A lot of studies done on this. The recommendations of 2 gram sodium diet, my personal feeling is that that is far too low sodium. I think that the average person needs at least 4 to 6 grams of sodium. So do not be afraid about the sodium. So if I'm eating my salad, here's my salad. Put anything you want in there, as long as it's fresh, as long as it's out of the garden, and you're putting it in, and then you can add your proteins to this. So pack this and take this to work. You put your salmon, grilled salmon, your grilled chicken. You can put some shrimps in there, and now you have this fantastic salad with lots of protein in it as well. And you made it at home. You know what's in it. The salad dressing is very important. This is a bottle of balsamic vinaigrette, but I would not even do this. I'd rather just take olive oil, make my own balsamic vinegar by putting balsamic vinegar in the olive oil, shake it up, and now you got your own. And use that at home, and then you can put it into these little containers that are now available, and just close it down and put it inside your salad bowl and take it to work. Because this one has in it soybean oil, canola oil, and I don't want those vegetable oils. Look, folks, vegetable oils. Today, when you look at calories, more than 50% of our calories are coming from vegetable oils. That's far too high. What am I going to put on my bread? I'll put real butter on it, grass-fed butter. I don't put margarine on it. I put grass-fed butter on it. Vegetable oils need to go. Chickpeas in a can, not bad. I like that. But there's so many choices of beans that you can have. You can buy frozen foods. As long as it's all real food. You can make hummus out of this, and Manisha will show you how to do that. But my point is, nature gives you so many different varieties. Look, you're supposed to consume 30 different types of a vegetable a week. How many? 30. The average person is lucky if they even hit 9. So you got to take herbs, spices, each one counts as a vegetable. Add that to your food. Add that to your salad, because you're going to get different ingredients in every little thing. Look, these spices and additives, they're nature. They're not those type of additives. They don't come from a factory. They don't come in big barrels into the factory. No, these are little spices. They're real food. They've just been dried, and now they're in your kitchen, or sometimes they're even in their natural state. Nature's giving it to you. Those you need, because each one of them is a medicine. I've said this many times to people that vegetables and spices, they're a food, but they're really a medicine, because they give you all the fine stuff that you need to make your metabolism even better. You want top metabolism? Then that's what you need on top of all the basic ingredients in your diet. You need all those spices. They're not called spices for nothing. The spice of life, because they are truly the spice of life, because they give you all those extra ingredients in there. So I think that when you look at a food, if it's in the way nature made it, that's the way it looked out in the farm or on the tree or on a bush or in the ground when you pull it out of the ground, if it looked like that, That's what you want to eat. You want to eat nature. You're made out of nature. These things are not found in nature. They're found in factories. Eat nature, eat natural foods. And let's not be lazy about it. We just have to do it. It just has to become our way of life. So, you know how I love Star Trek, right? So I will be doing a series about what happened to the crew on the USS Enterprise when they didn't have the kinds of foods we have on Earth. We're so lucky we live on Earth. They had to make a frequent trip to come down to Earth just so that they can get the stuff from here and go out to space. But lucky they could go at warp speed. We don't have that. We have Earth right here. We need to be taking Earth, pieces of Earth, put it in us. And that's what's going to make us healthy. We do that for breakfast, we do that for lunch, we do that for dinner. So I hope this was very helpful for you. But I want you all to get excited about it. Start eating real food, real stuff. And more importantly, your kids need to start eating. Because they grow up as adults, they will have the same bad habits if we start now. Give them the good habits now, today. And their brains will develop beautifully, they'll have good habits, and they will not get metabolic disease when they're 35 years old. Because the way we are going right now, look around, look around. I see 35-year-old in my office, 40-year-olds coming in, they are metabolic wreck. Because of three things: the metabolism's out, they're lacking nutrition, or they have toxicity in them. If you give the body the nutrition it needs, get rid of the toxins in the body, that body will know what to do. You have the genome, you have that all there to make a perfect body. Get out of the way. Get out of your own way so that your body can do its job. Give it the right things. So folks, if you really liked that video, then you're really going to like the next one, which is going to be by Manisha Taylor, our in-house doctor, pediatrician, food specialist, and she's going to teach you how to make, cook, prepare for you and your family healthy, easy to make preparations of the types of foods that we know are good for you, your body, and your mind. So look forward to that. So if you really like this video, here's another one that I think you'll really enjoy. And if you want to see one of my latest videos, click over here. And of course, don't forget to go to my website, where you will see lots of educational resources and find out how you can arrange or book a consultation with me.